want your heart. Heart surgery. Gotta need your heart. So I can be what you're coming to be. I wanna talk like you. I wanna walk like you. I even wanna act like you. Ain't no cap, it's the truth.
Hey, hello everybody. Hello. Welcome to Straight from the Heart with Pat and Randy. We missed you guys. How are you? So good to be here on this hot Saturday. Hot, humid. It's humid.
Okay.
Hot, humid Saturday. But I won't complain about the heat because when it's cold, then we'll be wishing that we had the heat. So
Okay.
I'll just say for this humid Saturday, it's just a little humid for me. But nevertheless, it's just awesome and glad to be in the land of the living. How about you?
I am too.
I know you are. Yeah. So we're here this afternoon. We are excited again for another opportunity to come before you and to share just a few minutes. Our topic today, and that is, do you know what time it is? No, we're going to talk about time management today. We're going to talk about how do we spend our time. Is our time productive? Are we doing things repetitiously? Are we just making the best of our time? Are we productive? I think that's a good place to start and ask ourselves, do I spend my time in a productive way? Or am I just spinning my wheels, making things happen? And so I just want to kind of lay the foundation a little bit, and Randy's going to jump in as he sees fit. What is time management? Time management is when we take time to prioritize activities, jobs, responsibilities, family responsibilities. Are we taking time? Are we giving thought to it and making good use of our time, or are we wasting time? And so I think that's a question that we all have to ask ourselves. Have I made the most of my time? And can I look back and see that it was productive, or was it something that I was just doing and no results from it? And so today, let's kind of talk about some strategies. You know, I know for me, I could use some tips on how to be better equipped to manage my time, because I take on a lot of things.
You're well equipped to manage to do that. It's just that you have to take the time to just actually to implement the plans that you have in place. And then sometimes when we're doing things, I think that we spend too much time doing things when we should cut it off, because after you express yourself, got your point across, you did what you had to do, then it's time to move on to something else.
Right.
And so and I try to do that on a regular basis every day. Sometimes it's challenging, but you know, that's my focus, is that I don't spend a lot of time wasting time with things that I can't do anything about, or things that I just need to move on from, and you need to cut loose and let go. So
but you know, I think that the overall goal is to really prioritize, you know, take some time out. One of the things that I am grateful for, and that is our boss, which is my pastor as well, Bishop Gates. But what he has the staff doing, it may seem redundant to some, but it does help. The week prior to our work week, we have to go in and look at our calendar and put in things that we're going to focus on for the next week, you know, and that kind of helps you to know what is in front of you for the following week, so that you don't just get blindsided. Because what happens if you don't plan, then you plan to fail, because you have not taken time to really think through what it is you need to do. And if anybody's like me, I'm all over the place. I got to run to this side of town, to the next side of town, the other side of town. And sometimes I feel like that's all I've been doing all day, is running from one thing to another. And so prioritizing, taking time at the beginning, maybe at the end of the week, thinking about what is it that you need to accomplish next week. What are the most important things that you need to focus on? And then writing them out, maybe even categorizing them in the order that you want to get them done. You know, you may say you have 2 things that you need to do on the east side of town. So you say, you know what, I'm going to take care of that first on Monday morning because this is the side of town that I'm already on. And then kind of look at the areas that you want to, go into. Or maybe it's a task, or maybe it's a project you're working on. But, just kind of really setting your mind to prepare to take on the following week. I think that helps a lot.
Like if you do that and then you budget the amount of time you're gonna spend. I'm only gonna spend this much amount of time on this. I'm
Mhm.
only gonna spend this much amount of time on this. So that you don't be.
I like that.
I think because I think that's where we get into. Some people have a problem. They get somewhere and it should only take 15, 20 minutes to do this, but then you end up spending 30 minutes because maybe you get caught up, you deviate and do
Right.
something else when you need to kind of stick to
Yeah.
your schedule, because the only way you're going to get everything done and accomplished in a day's time or something is to budget it properly and to only use the amount of time that you have to do that. Because I think about that as far as sometimes when you're doing things and you have a situation, I don't give energy to stuff that I can't fix, I can't do nothing about. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time dealing with it. And even in a discussion or a conflict, I'm just not going to spend a lot of time with that
Hmm.
and give the energy to it. You only have so much energy during the day, and you need to budget your energy and the time that you have so that you can
Right.
accomplish your
Right.
goals. Because if you give too much to this, you're not going to have enough as the day goes on to give to something else.
Right. So you want to make sure that you know how much time that is needed for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish to do. So time management is knowing exactly that, how much time, tracking that time. Maybe putting it on your phone where it goes off at a certain time to let you know that specific thing has expired, and so that you can move on to the next thing. But in order to be successful, I really believe that time management is a crucial part of it.
It's like when you go to the store and you say you go to
Mhm.
the store, you're going to get three things, and then you go there and then you end up with 15.
So you should make a to-do list. Maybe make a to-do list. What am I going to do? What is
You
it that I
got this.
need?
You already know you only need three
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So how you end up with 15 coming home? I don't know.
Well, the to-do list really kind of helps prioritize, especially even I know I'm guilty even when I go in the store. I may go in to pick up one thing, but then while I'm in
I
there,
agree.
I'm thinking not just for what, but where I kind of deviate from that is I'm not just thinking about what I need right now. I'm thinking about later, what it is that you need for maybe another meal, or maybe it's something that I remember that I didn't remember seeing in my cupboard that I need to replace.
Mhm.
So sometimes you can kind of get off from that as well. So you want to create a to-do list and try to be as precise as possible to stick to that list, and then try to
Yes.
focus without so many distractions. Distractions
But
will take you all the way off course.
Yeah, and so I think about that, but I sometimes think that sometimes when you go to the store and you're going to get something and you want to get those three things, then you think you need something else. You just think you need something else because maybe you didn't contact somebody and say, oh, you might.
Like today, we had a distraction. We had a plan. We were headed one direction, and then we had a hiccup,
Mhm.
and so we had to stop what we were doing to go attend to that. So that threw everything off because
Mhm.
it was something that demanded our attention immediately. And so I think that you should even make room for distraction sometimes, not maybe pull yourself so thin that you're jumping from one thing to the next. You should take a time out. That's even like I've experienced that in planning programs, that you don't have everything back to back, or there's 15-minute increments in between. So you give yourself that breathing room in the event that there's something that comes up unexpectedly, that you're not just jumping from one thing to another. Hi, Diane. Hello, Delphine. Hello, Linda. Good to see. Look, I'm going to say good to see you, ladies. It is good to see you. It's good to see you on the chat.
Yeah.
But yes, and so you want to make sure that you're focused, because there are going to be distractions from time to time. And so you want to make sure that you do that and that you're making the right decisions. You know, is this the right time to do it? Because you can't do everything in one day. Everything you cannot. You know, you try to squeeze everything in one day, but it's impossible.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But sometimes when you have hiccups, so those things come, and so you never know, and you can't allow time for that, because then what you do, if you think in your mind that you allow time for that, then you may create that hiccup
Mhm.
by just giving energy to it, giving thought to it, that something could happen. So I try to think that everything is going to go according to plan, and if it doesn't, then I'll deal with that at the appropriate time, and I'll try to shut it down and get it done as quickly as I can, and then move on to the next thing. But I think sometimes even in time management, you keep in record of what you're doing, you're blocking your time off for whatever it is, and you're saying that you're going to leave at a certain time.
Right.
And you know, 'cause sometimes people will engage you in a conversation or try to solicit a little bit of your time, and you want to move on. And you have to be creative in how you deal with that and move on. Yes.
And so Tony Robbins, he has a method that he utilizes, and some of you may be familiar with Tony Robbins. He's a life coach, but one of the things that he reiterates is to when you think about your time and planning time, concentrate more on the outcome. What do you want the end of your day to look like? When you finish at the end of your day, what is it that you want to be able to say that you took care of, and maybe you put that baby to bed and you don't have to deal with it tomorrow? And so you want to think about the outcome of how you want it to turn out. That's like I would say in events again, or maybe someone's planning a wedding. I'm more of a visionary. So I vision, even when planning or decorating. I'm sitting here looking at my beautiful deck, but before I started purchasing things for the deck, there was a mental picture in my mind of what I envisioned it looking like. And so it came out basically the way that I thought that it would come out, because I already had the design engraved in my mind. And so you have to kind of take that same concept when it comes to planning your day. You think about how you're going to do it, how you're going to accomplish it, the people that maybe you need to connect with in order to make it more, efficient. And so you have to really think through what it is that you're striving to do, and making sure that you are putting the right things in place in order to accomplish those goals as well. And what this does, it helps automate your flow. Some of us are kind of on autopilot, if you allow me to say that, where you just get up, you have the same routine every day. You're on autopilot. I don't have the luxury of that because I may have anything. My day from day to day can fluctuate and go any type of way. And so organization is key in time management.
I agree.
Yes.
You always want to look at what is your outcome whenever you're doing whatever you're doing. You want to know that what is the outcome? What are you going to gain from this? How is this going to help your situation or the person that you're dealing with, or whatever it is you're trying to construct. So you have to be mindful of the outcome, what you want the outcome to be.
Yeah. So if you're not organized, then what you'll find yourself doing is spending time on non-productive things, because you'll give your attention in areas that maybe that could have waited, or you could have done it a different way.
It's when but if you prioritize properly, you shouldn't have that problem. But I think that if you're doing the same thing every day,
but you know what I try to do? I try to tackle the biggest thing that I have to do first thing in the morning, because I'm fresh, I'm more alert, I'm more in tune with what my day and what I want it to look like. And so I try to tackle the big things. Like for me, I'm so excited because I now have a trainer. I have a trainer that he said, "Oh Jesus, I'm excited about this," because what it does, it helps me start my day. I have a weight trainer that works out with me 3 days a week, but is early in the morning. And so it helps me to get up, to start my day. And then my mind is clear and I'm taking on the mindset of now that I'm up and I'm out, what can I accomplish while I'm already out before I go back and refresh and get ready for work or if it's something else that I need to prepare for, because now I'm focused thinking. And so you want to make sure that what you're doing makes sense and try to tackle maybe the heaviest thing in the morning, what it is that you need to do, because you're going to be more energetic, you're going to be more in tune with what it is that you need to do. And then there's some things that maybe you can empower somebody else to do it. I'm learning that you can't do everything.
You can't.
Yeah.
I think if you give, and what happens, I think that if you give the responsibility to someone else, then they allow you to have some time for yourself.
Yes.
As opposed to, and you're still able to get something accomplished. And I think that's something that a lot of us need to do. We need to take out some time for yourself. Take out some time to relax and to think and to just regenerate, reinvigorate.
I was reading something. It said one of the reasons why sometimes people don't empower or give someone else a task is because they're perfectionists and they want it done a certain way. But I believe this, and I'm learning, and maybe it's my age, that sometimes you have to give somebody else a chance to try and do it. Because what happens is they miss that opportunity to grow. They miss their opportunity to learn how to do different things. If you always feel like you're the only one that can do it,
it's a programming thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you are not the only one that can do things. You have to allow others to be a part. Diane said that's why I've heard never start cleaning in the house in the same room. Energy runs out. So, Diane, is it safe to say that that go to a different room in the morning before you start? Maybe kind of make a little leadway and put some space in between that place that you were working in. If you're like me, Diane, I totally agree. I jump from room to room.
Yes.
Sometimes I jump from room to room. I may start it like I started in my living room today, cleaning.
And it'll wake you up too. Why
I sure will, because I get into it.
Yes.
I love a clean house.
And so need to sleep.
To sleep. Put the earbuds in, brother.
Okay.
He has some earbuds. Put those earbuds in, because when Mama G come through this house, we running sweepers, we doing whatever, and don't make me turn on Alexa. Me and Alexa, we have a good time. Give me some good church music, and I can work it on out. And so we don't want to start. Delphi said, "Don't start 10 things at once. Don't start 10 things." Davion says, "I help too." Yes, Davion does. That is my little sidekick. I can say, "Hey, Davion, come on, let's do the living room." I'll start out dusting. Before you know it, we have switched the furniture. We have pulled chairs from one room to the next room. But we do it when he goes to work because we don't interrupt him.
Thank God for that. Yes, thank God for that. They do it at night. That's what I'm here.
Yes, and so you want to make sure that I do totally agree. When you get stuck in the same room, it becomes boring to me at some point. And some laugh because I switch colors. No. I switch colors and I change things around because I like change. And so time management, that's what we're talking about. Are we making the most of our time? Are we putting our best effort forth when we set out to do whatever we're doing? And so sometimes I'm realizing you just got to say no. You cannot say yes to everything. You can't be everything to everybody. And sometimes I was listening to I'll put it, Bishop T.D. Jakes yesterday. He said, quit being a God player. That penetrated my spirit. A God player is someone that feels like they have to solve every problem. They have the answer to situations. They feel like they can fix everything. He said, don't allow people to make you be a God player. You're not God. You cannot do everything. You cannot fix everything. You need time to do things for yourself. You need time to focus on important things. And sometimes you have to say no. I can't. And it's nothing wrong with saying no. It's okay to say no. And what it does, it just creates another opportunity, or it gives you time to think it through so you can make sure that it's the best decision that you're making. And so sometimes I used to have a problem saying no because I didn't want anybody to be upset with me. But I'm learning that you can't please everybody. They're going to be upset if you do. They're going to be upset if you don't. And so just saying no, sometimes I walked away and I feel so good. Why? Because I didn't have that extra stress on me of something that I had to do that I knew I did not have time to do. And so learning how to say no, maybe some may say, not right now, or let me think about it. Let me get back to you. Maybe that's a better way to say it if you just don't want to say no. But it is okay to say no because you want to make sure that you're able to keep your priorities straight and be able to have the time that you need to do it. So age will help you to learn how to say no. Now, Diane, that's the whole truth right there. Age will help you say no. Yes, it will, in a heartbeat, because you realize that you cannot do what you've always done, or you always get what you always got. You know, and I say that saying, I say it jokingly, but it is the truth. We can't do what we used to do. You know, as much as we desire to do it, I realize that I cannot be efficient trying to spread myself so many different ways. And so saying no is a good thing sometimes, to say no. And then it says here, it talks about learning the 80-20 rule. It's basically tells us that 80% of the results we get are achieved from 20% of our actions. Isn't that something? That the results that we get are sometimes based upon the actions that we take in order to have effective time management.
Wow.
Isn't that something? So maybe
that's like the 80-20 rule for exercise and food. So it's 20% exercise, 80% of what you eat. So what you eat is more important than how much you exercise as far as
your diet,
your weight is concerned, which is a very interesting thing, because a lot of people spend a lot of time in gyms trying to get in shape, not realizing that. And then
go home and stop and get a Five Guys burger.
Yeah, and so you fight against yourself, because you can't. When you
that is losing, the whole truth.
That's truly fighting a losing battle.
Yes, you know, my trainer shared that with me, and you have said it for years that going to the gym is good, but the key is eating healthy. Yeah. And so I'm getting it from both ends, you know, and so I'm learning.
No, finally, it didn't resonate with her until somebody else said it.
Well, sometimes in the multitude of counseling, sometimes you have to hear redundantly, and there's nothing wrong with that. No, it doesn't mean that you were wrong. It just means that I had to hear it again. Right. And now, but this is the thing, that sometimes you can say something to somebody and they know that it's the right thing to do, but until it hits here, until they're ready to do it, and that's the key. You can preach till the cows come home, but if I am not ready to apply the discipline to do it,
that's the problem with a lot of things, is that, you know, intellectually you know what you need to do, but you just don't put the action.
I'm learning to practice to sit up straight. Why? Because I realize my posture is important to me, and I have a tendency to slouch. But I realize setting up straight, it takes discipline. You got to think about what you're doing. You got to think about how you want to look, and so you have to make that applicable in everything that you do: job, ministry, family. Think about what you're doing to take the pressure off, so that you can have effective time management, and realize that you cannot do it all. You cannot do it all.
And that goes hand in hand with think about what you're thinking about. So if you don't put negative thoughts and negative things in your mind, and you think positive, and if something comes a thought comes to your mind that is not productive, is negative, is counterproductive to what you're doing, then you have to dismiss that thought and charge yourself with a different thought to think differently. Because, and a lot of times, and I've just found this to be very true, is you change the way you look at things, and things will change the way they look. And I think about that in relation to when you are dealing with someone and they are confrontational or there's a conflict, and you have to think that maybe they had a bad day, maybe something's wrong, and it's not even you that is addressing. It's really that person, and something that's going on with them, and so you can't get angry in return to them being angry, and you just have to say, okay, I understand.
Not feed it, not feed into it, and I believe that if you want to remove some of the barriers to being a better you, then you have to think it through and make sure that your action does not create another or a different response than what it is you're looking for. And so going back to time management, when someone is asking you for a meeting 80% of the time, then sometimes you may have to say, hey, is there an alternate date we can do this? Is there another time that we can meet? Or maybe we can split this in half.
Or can we do it by phone?
Or can we do it by phone?
Do we have to meet in person?
It's a virtual world now. Can we meet virtually? You know what I'm saying? And so you got to start thinking and making it make sense. 10 to 12 minutes invested at the beginning of your day will save you 2 to 3 hours of wasted time.
Ooh.
Oh, come on, somebody.
Yeah.
So now you got to start thinking about what it is that you're doing. Does it make sense? That's all we're saying today. Time management. Do you know what time it is? It is time to get it right. It's time to think right so we can do right, so we can be right. So that's all I had.
Yeah, okay.
You have something else?
No,
you got something else?
That's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed this little blitz on time management, because we realized it's 7:03. We came on just a few minutes late. We're working on that time management. But I'm so happy this great man right here introduced me today. We went to a vegan
fest, a
black
vegan fest. It was
and I had a vegan taco salad.
Yes, with some different stuff
with blueberries and all this. It was pretty good, but
it's different. And
I got a little antsy with the time because the line was too long, and I didn't want to stand in a long line and then pay and all that. But we worked it out, and it was all good. So from the Germany's house to your house. We appreciate you so much, Delphine. Janika, a problem area in my life. Janika, what we would say to you is step back, take another look, and think about, write it down and see if it makes sense. Whatever it is that you, but I would say this to everybody, take time for you.
Yes.
Take time for you, invest your time. Part of me really seeking out a trainer was not primarily to lose weight. I want my heart to be healthy. Cardio is important. I wanted to learn better eating habits. That is an area he's working with us on as well. And so I realized that what I put in my mouth is not always the best thing. Sometimes even what we say is not way, but that's another story for another day. But I say this to say that make it make sense, whatever you're doing, Janika, but make sure. I'm doing the training also because I wanted some me time. I wanted to invest in me. I wanted to feel like, hey, I'm shutting the world out, and I'm going hard, and I'm exercising. And when I'm there, some of you may catch me on Facebook. I found out he's videoing, and I'm on there saying, Jesus. I'm like, they're laughing. They said, Germany, you serious? I'm serious. one, I had to pay, but two, because I want results. Come on, somebody. I want results. So I'm not just doing it to be doing it. I'm not doing it to be seen. I'm doing it because I have an expectation that I'm going to be a better me.
All right.
I'm going to be. And so when I'm a better me, guess what? Yes. I can be better for everybody else. Mm-hmm. And so I am trying to do this because I want to live. And as you say, we don't live to eat. We eat to live. Yeah. And so we're eating to live in this household. We're changing our eating habits. Yay. We're learning how to eat healthy, think healthy, and be healthy. Yeah. And so Arian Farms, she says informative. Yes, Anita, Thank you, Anita Stone. Keep moving forward, Germany's Delphine. My calendar is my life. That's right. That calendar, I'm always looking at my phone. I keep my phone near me because I'm always looking. I don't care if it's saying wash dishes at 2:00. Put it in your phone so you can look back at it. Brendan Calloway, I love you. You know I love you. I'll see you tomorrow, Lord willing. Brendan said something about slouchy. He said, you made me set up at my desk, Pastor G. Hello, I was stopped. Yes, we got to work on that. You know, I'm trying.
Especially if you use Facebook in the phone, you're doing like this. And
you automatically in slouch mode.
So
we got to work on that. And think about it. When you stand tall, it also slenderizes you. Come on now. So you want to look a little slimmer, Brandon?
Like you should tell me about
stand up.
In my stomach.
Yeah, tuck in your stomach. It pulls that stomach in. Listen to me now. I'm going to start doing some training, coach, weight training. But no, really, we just want to help somebody. So we jumped on here really to help and to just encourage somebody today that manage your time, make the most of it. And so with that being said, we're going to jump off now. It is 7:07. We love you. There are a few more things I have to do because we have church tomorrow. And I'm so excited. Tomorrow at Kingdom Apostolic Ministries is Youth Takeover Sunday. And it starts at 1:30. So join us at Kingdom Apostolic Ministries. You can go online and register, but you must wear your mask. And so everybody be safe out there. We know that the Delta variant is on the rise, but we are believing God that he's going to keep us just like he did with COVID-19. We're praying and we love you. We love you so much. Stay healthy, stay focused. Remember, you wear your mask, not for you. You wear it to save somebody else. I love you. God bless you.
Gotta want your heart surgery. Gotta need your heart so I can be what you're coming to be. I wanna talk like you, I wanna walk like you, I even wanna act like you. Ain't no cap, it's the truth.